Guys, in this video I will teach you how to create a Bujo Bingo spread, which is a super helpful tool that will motivate you to complete your goals. I've created this spread because in June I have some really crazy goal setting, as you can see. There's lots of goals that I want to complete and some of them are pretty heavy and require a lot of time and energy. So to help me motivate to actually complete this, I thought of a Bujo Bingo spread. And on the left side of the spread, you can find my bingo card. And each square in the bingo card contains one of my goals. And on the right side of the spread, you can find my reward system, because each row or column or diagonal that I complete will give me one of these rewards. But I didn't just randomly put my goals in here. I've created a certain system for that. And within this system, some of the rows and columns are easier than others. And the rewards, the kinds of rewards, reflect the difficulty of the goals in this grid. So let me just show you how to create your own Bujo Bingo spread. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to create another notebook. And in this notebook, I will collect all my ideas that I have for pages or the inspiration that I find on Instagram or on Pinterest or YouTube, so that I always have something to look back to whenever I need a certain inspiration for a spread. So let us look into this Bujo Bingo spread. The first thing you'll need to decide is which size you want your card to be. The smallest size I think will work is this 3x3 bingo card. So it has 9 squares. And I think this one is suitable for either dailies or weeklies, because you can fit 9 goals in them. So either they are your daily goals, which you want to complete, maybe it's your to-do list, or maybe they are some bigger goals you want to complete over the course of the week. Then there is a slightly bigger size, 4x4 squares. So in total you'll have 16 squares, and I think this is best suitable for either weeklies or monthlies. It depends on the heaviness of your goals, I suppose. The next size is 5x5, so you'll have 25 squares. And I think this one will not be suitable for weeklies anymore, but I'd use this one for monthlies. And of course, if you want to go all the way, like I did in my Bujo, you can have the 6x6 card, which is 36 squares. And I think this one will be suitable for either monthlies or a longer period. Now this is of course not set in stone. It really depends on the kinds of goals that you fill your card with. For example, if you choose really super easy goals or your to-do list, maybe you can have a large card for your weekly. And if you have really heavy goals that take a lot of time and concentration, maybe you will have to choose a smaller card. But if you have a lot of difficult goals or goals that cost you a lot of energy or time, I think it's better to go for the bigger cards and just chop up some of your bigger goals. For example, if you look at the Bujo Bingo I made, one of my goals is to lose 3 kilograms this month. That's a pretty heavy goal, and that is something that is really hard to stay motivated for. So I've chopped them up. Each kilogram has its own square, so that at least when I have completed 1/3 of this goal, I can already color one of my square. And this is already a big accomplishment for me. So this is what you can do if you have some bigger goals on your list. Now what will happen, as you can see in this spread, whenever you complete a row or a column or a diagonal, you will actually get a reward. And it's really important that you will choose your rewards beforehand, because then you know what you're working for, right? But like I said, my rewards are reflecting the kind of goals that are in this spread. So that's why I have set up a certain system of where I put my goals. First, you'll have to decide which of your goals are the most challenging or the most difficult ones to complete, or the ones that take up the most time. And those you will put in the middle 4. Or if you have a card that is 5x5 or 3x3, you will put the one most difficult goal in the very middle. In my case, that was opening my Etsy shop, reading my 5th novel, losing my 3rd kilogram, and a total of 54 goals completed. That doesn't mean 54 goals in this month, by the way. That means 54 goals of my 101 in 1001. So once you've put your most challenging goals in the middle of your card, then you'll want to see if there is some goals on your list that have similarities with each other, or that might be part of the same goal. Like for example, my weight loss goal or my movie watching goal. I didn't all clutter them in the same corner, but I spread them evenly on the page. You can see it clearly with my movie watching goal because I've completed the first 4 already. And there's one in each corner of my card. And by evenly spreading them, I think you will challenge yourself in the best way possible. And you don't want to focus on just one of your goals, right? You want to focus on all of them. So that's why the similar goals should be evenly spread throughout your card. So like I said, my reward system is connected to the difficulty of the goals on my card. So if I complete a row or a column, I will give myself a low reward. Now, low doesn't mean that the reward should not please you, because it should be an awesome reward for you, but it should be something simple. And it should be something cheap, definitely, because you'll have a lot of row and columns and you don't want to buy a new dress every time you've completed one of these rows or columns, because then at the end of the month you'll be broke, right? So it should be something that is of high value to you, but which is still pretty simple and easy to get. In my case, whenever I complete a column, I will buy 1 new brush pen, and whenever I complete a row, I will buy 1 new stamp or stamp set. And it doesn't have to be something that costs money, of course. In my case now it was, but it can be anything. It can be just relaxing for half an hour on the couch, or it can be walking around the block, or whatever makes you happy. Just make sure that it's a high reward for you. When you finish one of the diagonals, so this green thing over here, you can give yourself a moderate reward, because the middle ones are also in the diagonals, right? And those were your most difficult goals. So once you've achieved to complete one of the diagonals, you've also achieved 1 or 2 of your biggest and most difficult goals. So you can give yourself a bit of a higher reward. When you finish the whole cross, that means you finished the 4 of your biggest goals. So in my case, that's a moderate to high reward. And because these middle 4, or in this case, the very middle 1, are the most difficult to achieve, I think you should reward yourself as well when you've achieved those 4 goals. So in my case, I would say that is a high reward, because those were your 4 most difficult goals and you've achieved them. That is awesome. So you should give yourself a really high reward. And if we look at my spread, the middle rewards for the diagonals were to spend some money on AliExpress and to buy some mouth liners. Now, I have distinguished the 2 diagonals because one of the diagonals is a bit easier, I think, to achieve than the other one. So I made a distinction there, but you don't have to. It can be the same reward if you want. And my reward for finishing the cross is the book Botanical Line Drawing, which is something that I would really love, and it will keep me accountable. Now, when I finish my 4 most difficult goals, my high reward for that is to buy a PlayStation 4 game. But I don't think you should reward yourself for the rows and columns only, because maybe you've completed over half of your spread already and there's still no column or row completely filled. But you've did an awesome job, right? I mean, you've completed over half of your goals. That should be rewarded. So when my card is half full, I will give myself a high reward, which in my case is a new dress. It can be anything else for you. And when I have a complete full card, that is the ultimate goal, right? To fill up your complete card. So there should be a very high reward for that. And in my case, that's eating sushi. So this is the reward system that I choose for my own Bujo Bingo. But of course, there are way more other possibilities. For example, you can give yourself a reward when your card is 25% filled, or when it's 1/3 filled, or 2/3, or when you have the complete outer squares filled, or when you made a cross like this. I mean, there's tons and tons of possibilities. So choose a reward system that works for you. Just make sure that the kind of rewards you give yourself are related to the difficulty of actually completing that. The reason why this Bujo Bingo card is so motivational for me is because by completing one goal, I am not only working towards one reward, but maybe towards 2 or 3 or 4 rewards even. For example, take the square in the top left. Whenever I complete the goal in the top left, I'm working on this column, this row, and this diagonal. So I'm actually working towards 3 rewards. But there's also a reward for my half card filled or for my full card filled. So in fact, I'm even working on 5 rewards at the same time by just completing one goal. And if I'm completing one of my heaviest goals, it's even more because there's also this middle square that I get my reward for. This is what makes it super motivational for me. So if you think a spread like this would also work for you, then please go ahead and recreate it. And I would really love to see your spreads. So wherever you post it online, please make sure you'll tag me so I can find it. And if you post it on Instagram, you can use the hashtag #BujoBingo and I will be sure to check them all out. Also, let me know down below in the comments if this tutorial was helpful for you and if you would like to see more tutorials like this, because I'd love to know. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, then just make sure you're subscribed to my channel. See you in my next video. Bye!